I think it's time for another story time. When I was a law clerk, I was shadowing someone. It's basically like a legal internship, and I went to a deposition in one of the criminal cases. In Missouri, we get to take depositions for criminal cases. At this deposition, the officer from the arrest was there, as well as the prosecutor. Now, that's not her client, but she was there representing the state and gets to have that testimony as well. She would also get to ask her own questions to have it on the record. Since he wasn't her client, she cannot advise him, she cannot object for him and instruct him not to answer. There's very specific rules of things she can't do since that wasn't her client. So I'm sitting there just observing and taking notes because at the time that's like really cool to go to a depo when you've never been to one before. While I'm taking notes, this cop is just bombing the questions and he's fighting with the lawyer deposing him and definitely not answering correctly. It was a DWI case and the testimony he was giving was helpful for our client and hurtful to the state. Before someone told me on here, I didn't know there was always like a little mantra on the back of these tea bags. This one says, "A peaceful mind is a strong mind." Moving on. While he was bombing these questions, I look over and the prosecutor was literally writing on a piece of paper. It said no and yes, and she was pointing to which one she wanted him to answer. That is so improper. It was really wild. I didn't know what to do because I was like, am I really seeing this? There's no way she would actually do that. That is against every rule. I told the lawyer that was taking the deposition, like, hey, the prosecutor is coaching the witness. He grabbed the notes, made it an exhibit, and that's how she made herself a witness instead of the prosecutor. Obviously, you could see how that would look pretty bad because it looks like corruption. So that case was resolved pretty quickly for our client, and they offered a very favorable recommendation so that we didn't grill the prosecutor and make her a witness on the case. The sad thing is I don't think she was doing it to be corrupt or anything. I just didn't get that vibe. She was literally trying to help him because he was bumbling through the questions. I would love to know what you think about that.